My name is Stephen Ramage. I'm here from the Group on Earth Observations, which is an intergovernmental organization that works on Earth observations. So we're working with governments around the world to provide open Earth observation data. So countries have borders, but Earth observations do not. And as we've just heard in a number of talks, neither do disasters. So disasters are transboundary issues. So Earth observations are really important for decision making here. So in terms of Earth observations, what we're talking about are observations in, on, and around the Earth. So it's not just satellite imagery, it's also marine, terrestrial, atmospheric. So it relates to any type of measurement. So it could be in situ or it could be satellite. And these are the different areas we work. These are the priority areas for GEO. So we're working on climate change, disaster risk reduction, and the Sustainable Development Goals. So we're using Earth observations across all of these different areas. So for the Sustainable Development Goals, one of the activities we've done is we've mapped all of the Sustainable Development Goals against Earth observations. So we know where Earth observations can help respond to the Sustainable Development Goals. And you can see hazards and disasters on the far corner. So we represent 105 countries. So those are UN member states who work with us internationally. And you can see in blue all the countries that are already members of GEO. We also work with what are called participating organizations. So those are organizations like UNISDR, the World Bank, the World Meteorological Organization, the European Space Agency. So many different organizations who are working with us. And we also have a number of regional initiatives. So the Group on Earth Observations is there to build a global Earth observation system of systems. And so we have that regionally. So in Africa, we have AfriGeos. In Asia Pacific, we have the Asia-Oceania Geos. And we also have AmeriGeos for the Americas. So the areas we cover are called societal benefit areas. So those range from agriculture to biodiversity to climate, disasters, water. And climate is something that cuts across all areas, so we don't distinguish climate. That's something that's an umbrella activity. So within disaster, we have 10 different activities specifically focused in our work program. So you can see in here, one of them, Geodharma, is looking at a better way to exploit satellite imagery. So there's lots and lots of satellites in the sky and there's lots of imagery available, but it's not being used or exploited properly. So Geodharma is one of the projects within GEO, one of the initiatives that's working on that. Then we also look at seismic activity in volcanoes with GSNL. Obviously we're looking at wildfire and drought and flood and the other activities. So the goal of GEO is open data, open Earth observation data. So we're trying to make Earth observation data open for the whole world. So we're working with countries, governments around the world to provide the open data. And so the business case is that the USGS opened their data, and before they made the data open, they had 53 scenes a day. After they made the data open, it went up to 5,700 scenes a day. So there's also an economic impact of that, which is their annual economic benefit is $2 billion. So that's quite a compelling case for making open data. So we also have a data portal that has 280 million open data sets in it. So it's the largest Earth observation open data portal in the world for Earth observations. So all of these observations are freely available in the data portal. So if you go to geoportal.org, you can get it in there. So in the geoportal, we have almost 160 different data providers. So these data providers are providing different data relating to Earth observations. And all of this data is open data. It's all freely accessible. So you can see there are satellite organizations, so NASA, ESA, JAXA. We provide soil moisture, groundwater. So there's many different types of data that inform decisions for people who are working in the areas of disaster or climate or the other societal benefit areas that I mentioned. So the data comes in and it goes through an access broker, and then anybody can access it in our portal. So we're sort of like the Airbnb of open data, because we don't own any data, we just broker access to all the data. So really, we're working across a range of different areas, and what I've done here is I've just summarized the areas where we're working. So we are looking at how Earth observations can support the Sendai framework, but we're also doing the same as I showed earlier for the Sustainable Development Goals, and we're also doing the same for the Paris Agreement. So we're trying to align our activities in each of these areas to try and save countries time and money when they're responding to these priorities. So really, we're working with UNISDR on obviously the Sendai framework. We're working with UNFCCC on climate change. We're working with UNCCD. So we're working across all the different custodial agencies in the different areas to try and provide this access to open data. So that's really it. We're upstairs in booth 19. We have some memory sticks with all of our stuff about disasters. You can get off me now, or you can come and visit us and learn a bit more about what we're doing. Thank you.